This afternoon I've prepared a poetry potpourri for you. A little of this and a little of that. First one is verbal striptease.
Wait, I'm sorry, Linda.
Oh, okay.
That's fine. I said, Craig reminded me that I said, give your poem to Linda, and it's not going to be that. Linda said that she would read, but she didn't care to judge, and Craig said that he would judge. So we've got that straight.
I could give him a little support.
Yeah, oh, of course. You do. She gets a vote, right? All right, now,
Okay,
Linda,
we'll
thank
start
you.
again.
Now,
Verbal striptease.
yeah.
No need for sexy music or provocative bump and grind. The focus on the spotlight is entirely on the mind. We write of vulnerabilities, emotions, and desires, expose our faults and fears, our needs and inner fires. Through words we voice, our hearts can soar as images flow free. Our souls we bare, unmasked we stand as we share our poetry. A mouse in the house. In the bowels of the basement, in the belly of the house, there were no creatures stirring except the computer mouse. Its little body wiggled, its buttons clicked with glee as it brought up Windows images to keep it company. The mouse was never lonely. Complaints were never heard. It whiled away the hours, clicking on MS Word. It emailed the world over. It even created poetry and searched the web for data, all of it for free. I wish I knew its secrets, the ease with which it runs. Then maybe my frustration would be converted into fun. Condemned. The tree was not ill. No fungus rotted its roots. No wilt dotted its leaves. No insects invaded its core. Condemned, its only crime was it grew too close, too tall. None spoke in its defense, neither those it sheltered nor those it fed, those who admired its beauty or those over whom its shade was spread. The scream of the blade bit into bark, ripped through rings of time as years of sap bled. The giant tree shuddered, uttered no sound, toppled and fell. A thunderous silence littered the ground. This is the tanka, maestro. I can set the sun, command the full moon to rise, cajole the stars to shine, and arrange the dark just so I can orchestrate the night. Decima. The attempt. You have no clue how hard I've tried. The times the words just would not flow. Ideas would come, then swiftly go. Frustration reigned. I almost cried, but no, I thought I must decide which path it was I might pursue, and still to my own heart be true. The form is set, I must admit. Decima's I don't like one bit. Yet here's the poem I wrote for you. Platitudes and promises, no guarantees, a poem for two voices. In waiting rooms peopled with fear, outdated magazines, heavy as millstones, lie in laps. Restless hands finger unread pages like worry beads, counting platitudes and promises.
Latest research indicates best treatment available. We're optimistic.
Walls listen, hear whispered breaths, and like sponges absorb sighs, cries, prayers, pleas. No guarantees, just platitudes and promises.
According to statistics, highest survival rate, there's always hope.
Heartbeats tick into seconds, minutes, years. Rooms empty as slowly as lifetimes through an hourglass. Chairs sag with weight of discarded assurances, while piles of platitudes and promises litter the floor. Permission. The room is quiet, except for labored breath. A seasoned performer stands in the wings. Death awaits its cue. Memory, like a magnet, pulls me back. Mother, may I? Courses through my brain. Mother, may I? I hear the old refrain. May I please wear lipstick, buy a strapless gown? May I stay out past midnight, celebrate in town? May I learn to play the piano or even the guitar? May I get my driver's license and own a brand new car? Permission withheld or granted, depending on the plea. It was a power struggle over her authority. Now, as I remember these words from long ago, my mother begs with silent eyes permission to let her go. Permission withheld or granted, depending on the plea. It's not a power struggle, just desire to be free. Free of constant weariness, of pain that comes with age, of the ravages of sickness, of the pent-up violent rage. Permission must be granted as I take her hand in mine and whisper, "You can go now. I promise I'll be fine." Haiku. Spring shower, caught inside each falling drop, a promise of rainbows. Limerick. Right on. It's time to begin, you command. I resist, yet take pen in hand. With the challenge I face, I stare right into space. I just cannot write on demand. Orange on velvet. His eyes are pools of pitch, masking the inferno within. Sheltered by shadows, ablaze with anticipation, arsonist flicks the match, watches tendrils of acrid smoke curl, billow, bruise the moon. Fingers of flame claw the clouds as fire's tongue licks the night. The violated sky reddens with rage. Lamentation number 1. The mirror laughs. It mocks my shock as facial wrinkles pleat and fold. On skin's accordion, tunes emerge, not of youth, but growing old. Semaphores for all to see, my upper arms flap in the breeze. To my dismay, a river flows. It carries thighs down to my knees. No matter how I tug and plead, gravity gloats. It has such fun. Watches my body slip and slide as all life's stitches come undone. Lamentation number 2. Hair once luxurious upon my head now takes root on my chin instead. Charleston. Wrapped in the flag of righteousness, he prayed, then sprayed bullets of hatred and horror, the latest link in the long chain of violence. Wrapped in the arms of sadness and grief, they prayed, then joined hands and sang hymns of forgiveness and love. Amazing grace. And to conclude, I'd ask you to close your eyes and get into the mood. Masseuse. In flickering candlelight, incense swirls, pungent, heavy, filling my lungs with each deep intake of breath. My body is a nest of knots, a taut tangle of tense tissues. She fingers them slowly, as if saying the rosary. Hands slide over oiled skin, ironing folds and wrinkles, probing pressure points, manipulating matted muscles, until coaxed into reluctant submission, densely woven fibers dissolve, and I float, a feather in the fragrant air. Thank you for the honor of letting me read to you.